In this video, we're going to be talking about how to rearrange an equation to isolate a variable. You might see a problem that says something like this: area equals 1/2 base times height. That's the area of a triangle. But let's say that instead of solving for area, where area was by itself, let's say we wanted to solve for h. So we had an equation that meant h equals something. Our job is to figure out then, from this equation, can we rearrange it so it says h equals instead? Well, if I told you something like y is equal to, well, this is a bad example. If I told you something like 12 is equal to 3h, you would say, well, I've got a multiplication problem that's going on there. I need to divide by 3 both sides. And that'll tell me that h is equal to 4, 12/3, whatever. So we're going to take the same approach here. You would say, well, I've got some multiplication going on. If area was equal to 1/2 base times the height, then the first thing maybe that I want to do is divide both sides by the base. If I do that, I notice base divided by base, well, that goes away, and I end up with area over the base is equal to 1/2 of the height. Now I'm getting close. That's 1/2 of the height, but it's not the full height. So what I need to do then is I need to get rid of the 1/2. Right now I'm multiplying by 1/2, so the logical thing to do would be to divide both sides by 1/2. But we don't like dividing by fractions. Let's multiply instead by the reciprocal, 2/1. When I take 1/2 times 2, they go away. And I'm left with h by itself. And it turns out then that h is equal to 2a over b. 2 times the area divided by the base of the triangle. And I have just solved now for h. Now we can do the same thing over here. It's a little bit more complicated because we have more variables going on, and we got some addition, subtraction going on as well. But as long as you know order of operations, you should be fine. Notice that it says for y. That means in the end we're going to have y equals as our equation. Y equals is going to be the answer that we get. So let's find everything with a y. There's one right there. Here's one right there. We need to take these two variables, these two terms with y's, and we need to move them to the left side of the equation. So I'm going to add cy to both sides. We're going to start by doing that. 5 cy's plus another cy gives me a total of 6 cy's. I still have the minus d that I got to bring down, and that's equal to 4d. Now, I've got a term here that does not have a y in it, so I need to move it to the right-hand side. Let's do that by adding a d to both sides. If I add d, that means I'm left with 6 cy's on the left, and that's it. And I now have 5 d's on the right. Now the last thing is this. I want to get the y by itself. Right now I'm taking y and I'm multiplying it by 6. I'm also multiplying it by c. So let's do the opposite of multiplication. Let's divide by 6c. Let's divide both sides by 6c though, because we got to be fair. 6/6 goes away, c's go away, and I'm left with y is equal to 5d over 6c. And that's your answer.